Alright friends, let's move on to Volume 7, Route 2, A Fair Trial. I feel like her trials are rarely fair, but sure. It's a cool breezy evening. Violet leaves crunch under your feet as you stroll casually through a dense and inviting forest. Not an environment you're used to on this planet, that's for sure. You should be lapping up this serenity like a thirsty dog at a zen fountain. Instead, you're brooding. So many new friends. All of them a special breed of sad. You don't like seeing sad people, so you've done everything in your power to fix them. Slumber party, matchmaking, throwing a giant spider into a volcano. The smiles your new friends greet you with are all the proof you need that you've been doing good work. And yet, you can't help but wonder how much of a difference any of this really makes. Especially on Alternio. You've gathered that even if one of these kids avoids being murdered by an insectoid eugenics robot, they'll just wind up conscripted into a lifetime of military service under a colonial empire. Well, you know what that means. It means we gotta take down the whole freaking empire. Which makes it really hard to believe that inducing a few bouts of revelatory catharsis will ultimately amount to much. It's a depressing thought, and you're not entirely sure what to do with it, which is why you came out here. Nothing better for the soul than a nature hike, right? Maybe after a nice long walk, you'll come out right as... Hey, is that a treehouse? She lives in a tree. Actually, she does live in a treehouse. What? Ouch? Ouch is right, criminal. Great, more shenanigans. Hey, shenanigans are what leads you to friends. You won't lie and say the prospect of making friends with a spooky shark in glaringly red shades isn't appealing, but criminal doesn't leave a great taste in your mouth. When you try to move, well, you don't. Because you're tied to a chair. Strike 2 on the bad taste scorecard. Probably shouldn't stick around for strike 3. This is one of those moments where you forget that you can zap away. In a moment of uncharacteristic self-preservation, you close your eyes and attempt to zap away. But you can't, because the narrative won't let you. Your head hurts, and your vision is still kind of hazy, which might imply brain damage on account of your surprise wagging. With your luck, that probably means your superpowers are permanently broken? Typical. Oh no, not my zappy powers. Looking up at your captor again, you can't help thinking the specs are a bit extra. What kind of loser wears big angular sunglasses like that anyway? Hey, it was a different time. You'd certainly be one to judge if you had the legal authority to do so. A fashionable dress like that with blood as deliciously red as yours? The hypocrisy on you stinks like a fragrant pus. Gross? Jeez, what's with these aliens and their hang-ups about blood? Ha ha ha! Hang-ups. Gallows humor is an admirable quality, but such crowd-pleasing theatrics will not spare you from the full weight of the law. The law of what? There's a noose there? Alright, you like to hang your little dolls on the nooses. A bizarre tabloid unfolds before you. Stuffed dragons in benches, big angry monster, empty noose dangling next to a window? Looks like you've just wandered into a courtroom drama. It's Ace Attorney. Objection! Much to your relief, your kidnapper isn't a shark, and you have to admit, the glasses do come together in the ensemble. But it's instead a short, stocky troll girl in a short-sleeve turtleneck and a pair of garish red Crocs. What? Crocs? I don't remember that information, that little tidbit. The fashion on this one is staggering, especially with the... Is that a sword cane with a dragon's head? It is, because I'm cool. I mean, I'm blind and cool, but I'm also very cool. But make no mistake, I don't need eyes to smell how guilty you taste. Wow, is every sentence that tumbles out of this troll's mouth going to be weird and uncomfortable? Yes, but enough from you, cherry cheeks. His honorable tyranny will only tolerate so much banter before holding you in contempt. You might be developing some contempt yourself if you're being honest. Well, unless you want to be squeezed until your organs burst from your eyes, you'll can the backtalk and let the prosecution get to work. Is that what being held in contempt means? I mean, it might not, but hey, that's what it means for her. Fine. You guess you'll be polite and stop interrupting. Hey, this is my internal monologue. Let me have my internal monologue, okay? Thank you, I really appreciate it. Right, now that we have the preamble out of the way, there's a ding from her computer, and her posture immediately switches from confident to frustrated. Ugh, hold on. She strides over to her husktop, tapping the gleaming edge of her cane in front of her as she goes. I thought she don't need a cane. Or maybe she does. I can't remember. You wonder what kind of miraculous accessibility contraptions exist on this planet that a blind person can just use. Is she licking the monitor? Yes, she's licking her filthy fucking computer monitor, just slathering it up with her teal-tinted saliva, going at it like a husband greeting his war wife after 20 years at sea? Why? Sorry, give me a second. No problem, you say. Not like you're going anywhere, haha. Okay, she's distracted. Now would be a great time to go somewhere. Your powers still seem to be on the fritz, but you think the weight of your incredible ass might shatter this chair if you could get some leverage. Leverage with what? I mean, I'll try to get some leverage. You lean forward onto your feet, take a deep breath, and then hop backwards as hard as you can. Yes, my valuable assets will always save me at the end. It worked! You scramble up out of the broken chair as your captor turns towards you. What the fuck? I know, it's the asset. You try to run, but the rope still around your legs has other plans as you trip. Try to catch your weight, fail, and then sort of let the momentum of your vaudevillian tumble carry you across the room. You slam into your captor and send both of you flying out the window. Oh, this is way higher than you thought. You grab onto her and pray for dear life. Hey, you're not falling. That's a relief. You congratulate your agile friend on her quick reflexes in grabbing hold of. Oh. Oh no. You've heard of a hung jury, but this is ridiculous. Oh, what just happened? Did I kill her? Oh no, you didn't! The prosecution rests in peace. That is super dark and morbid. Terezi was just trying to have some courtroom fun and then we freaking killed her. So that was terribly awkward. Instead of doing that, let's just wait it out. You decide it's best to wait this out. The sword and noose are a bit worrying, but with the plush toys and chalk drawings, it strikes you that this is probably the closest thing Alternia has to a tea party, which would be adorable if it weren't so depressing. Playing along seems like a prime friend-making activity. Besides, whoever got hurt in a court of law, the guilty? After a few brusque keystrokes, she strolls back to her place in the center of the room. Not a word in half a sweep, and now she won't shut up? You ask who she was talking to. Just some dumb, angry girl who needs to leave me alone until the heat death of the universe. Who even cares anyway? Are you talking about my fellow Seagriff, or whatever the heck that title was? Not me, that's who. Where were we? Crimes? Crimes! You're here today to face the highest justice under my authority as Premier League affiliated legislator in training of His Honorable Tyranny's court. And it is with said authority that I accuse you of the most grievous of crimes against the empire of Her Imperious Condescension. Uh-oh. What crime would that possibly be? Breaking and entering? Doping with a clown? You guess she could technically nail you down as an accomplice to murder, but... Which murder? There's been so many murders. The crime of... existing. Oh, that's the harshest one ever. What? You're waiting for the other shoe to drop, but the damn thing just seems to be stuck up there. What did she say about being in training? You're beginning to wonder if this, what did she call it? Licitor? Prosecutioner? Public dexteripatist? None of these are words, man! You begin to wonder if this murder lawyer actually knows what the hell she's talking about. You think I'm making this up? Do I really look like the kind of girl who would randomly commit unprompted and unjustified murder on a whim? A little bit, yeah. But look, you've met some weird fucking trolls on this planet and they all seem to have a pretty laissez-faire attitude about murder, so... No, you know what? Fine. If you're gonna be a pedantic, snot-nub, a little wiggler about it, I'll just recite the whole fucking law verbatim. Article 5, subsection 11, paragraph 68 of the second new codes of Alternia what? It's so hard to read all these numbers. Describes your crimes at... Oh god, it's so long. Being, having been, or possessing the capacity to be in need of material resources consumption for the purposes of curtailing biological expiry, existing in, of, around, or through imperial territory as one of unclassifiable sanguination mutant, one of extrasolar origination alien, or one who plans to commit, has committed, or may possess the capacity to commit high crimes and fish demeanors against her imperial condescension, criminal. So you're accusing me of being an immigrant, basically. Well, I don't know if it's very complicated. So you're just accusing me of not being from here, being different, and possibly committing empire crimes. I don't know. I mean, I've thought about it, but I haven't done anything. There, happy now? Dang, this girl really knows her stuff. Of course I do. I'm not some fly-by looter psycho troll slaughter consultant. I'm a fucking professional? Clearly, how could you question her expertise on the subject of what is and is not technically a crime when there's so many books piled up haphazardly? You definitely are existing as an alien after all, and you guess that does by definition make you a criminal? And from the look of that news, you doubt the punishment is something as quaint as being thrown in the slammer? So is there an appeals process, or... She springs forward with surprising agility and presses her face right up against yours, sniffing you with alarming enthusiasm. Your game of candied apple ignorance may convince the pan-scrambled clown fuckers in the cheap seats or suits, but I smell the deception dripping off you like a delicious marmalade. You'll have to do better than this if you really want to. She sniffed. Want to... She sniffed again. Did Kanaya make this dress? Oh, that's where that came from. Oh, look, and out. Yeah, you say, you and her are great friends, and you wouldn't want to kill a friend of a friend, right? The best, in fact. You think she should message Kanaya right now to clear all this up? You know, like a character witness? I've witnessed your character plenty, and it's as bland as they come. That's certainly not the worst contemplative noise you've ever heard. I may have misguided you, or misjudged you. If you tell anyone I said that, I'm going to cut off your arms and use them to fingerprint bulges on your face until you bleed to death. You decide that keeping this pointlessly mundane secret is definitely in your best interest. So, does this mean you're free to go? Not so fast. May have implies possibility, not certainty. Maybe Kanaya gave you this dress because she likes you, or maybe you pressured her into it circumstantially. Maybe you're a delightfully clueless and well-intentioned interloper from beyond the stars. Or maybe you were sent here as a sleeper agent to learn all our weaknesses, so that the entities controlling you can sabotage our future. In cases such as these, I find the best course of action is to leave the verdict up to chance. What? Up to chance? She produces a double-headed coin with one side scratched out, and you immediately know exactly where this is going. The terms are simple. Heads, and I release you from your bonds. Tails, and I release you from being alive. Is she really about to take you out like a gangster who just betrayed their duality-themed mob boss? Before you can request a less Saturday morning cartoon solution, she flips the coin into the air. Well, this is bad. It's bad, and it kind of makes you angry. This doesn't make sense. You didn't do anything. But here you are with a 50-50 chance of getting murdered by a jovial gremlin anyway? Does she think this is normal? Your head is clear enough that you could zap away if you really tried, but something about this murder lawyer is stuck in your craw. Her devotion to justice is obvious, but it's a twisted and brutal justice, streamlined for violence, and painfully efficient in enabling exactly that. If this mock trial is anything to go by, this is the same system that requires insectoid eugenics robots to keep the peace, after all. There's so much wrong here, and she doesn't even see it. Like, metaphorically see it. The coin is falling. Every rotation brings you closer to a fate that, regardless of outcome, wouldn't be fair. You decide to think about what should be fair. Just like that, you're standing next to her. With a scream, you snatch her coin out of the air and hurl it full force through the window. Well, that's one way to do it. My coin! Sorry, you shout, but she can't expect you to just accept the whims of chance when your life is on the line. Why not? Because that sucks! It's lame and dumb and really cliche. What is she, a comic book villain? Am I supposed to know what that is? I'm pretty sure she thinks she's a hero. You don't know, troll culture seems to have a lot of really arbitrary similarities to human culture, and it's honestly very confusing, but that's beside the point. With a broad sweep of your arm, you gesture at her drawing of the honorary Tyrannosaurus or whatever, and ask what would he think of your little stunt just now. The trauma isn't for him. We act like it is, but everyone knows he's just a big, hangry monster. Huh? Then who? It's for the audience, obviously. By the time you make it to the stand, you're basically dead already. Don't the accused get a chance to defend themselves? Defend? Only the outrageously guilty would ever think to defend themselves in a court of law. Wow, that's fucked up. What's the point of even having a trial then? Besides the sheer pleasure of watching all the hope slowly drain from someone's eyes as they confront their imminently approaching and inevitably gruesome execution? Yeah, besides that, it's a warning to the sadness of what happens when they cross the line. And that line is, existing? Yep. The nonchalance of her answer underlines just how upsetting all of this really is. You remember the law she recited, and one part in particular sticks out to you. Unclassifiable sanguination. Didn't Karkat try to commiserate with you about having mutant blood or something? You know Karkat too? I know all your friends. I keep waiting for him to fuss about team leaders, but now he won't shut up about this thing he calls a Dave. Everyone was so worked out about the game, and now they're just over it suddenly. Yeah, that's your fault. Karkat would probably have a nuclear conniption if he knew you were about to say this, but you ask her if she's aware of his blood color. Of course I'm aware of it. What do you think I am, blind? Yeah, you are blind. Yes. Karkat's a mutant, right? If you remember correctly, that makes him guilty of the same crime you are. Her expression turns sour, and you can tell this is something she spent a lot of time trying not to think about. You figure she avoided summarily executing you because you're friends with her friends, so she would probably avoid killing Karkat as well, and that's a good thing. Great, in fact. You cannot stress enough how awesome that is. But doesn't that strike her as a bit hypocritical? Making exceptions for her friends? Does she think that everyone else who dies at court or gets cold in their own hives deserves what they get, just because she doesn't know them personally? It doesn't matter what I think. This is just how things are. It sucks, but it would suck a lot worse to be killed for saying so. And then who would protect Karkat? Who would protect... I can't help everyone, cherry cheeks. I can barely help my friends. Maybe if I stick to it long enough, I could change things from the inside. That's the best any of us can hope for. You guess that doesn't sound like the worst plan. In fact, it kind of reminds you of a certain troll lawyer? Actually, were they a lawyer? I think they were a student. Of... who? You feel sadness well up in your heart so fast and heavy that it knocks you over into her, and without meaning to you. Cousin Kyle, you're good God, I want to beat your ass.